again, but I just can't quit. Flashy skins and battle passes, draining all of my paychecks fastest. They drop some limited gear, only here for a week this year. The grind is endless, the fun is thin. I swipe the card, I pay to win. No more grinding, that's for fools. Time's for suckers, I break the rules. The shop's my sword, my shield, my sin. The fastest path is pay to win. Pay to win right now, today, buy my way through every play. Pay to win, what's skill to me when my bank account's my XP. Pay to win, I'll claim the crown while my visa melts down. No more losing, that's my spin. I'm here to pay to win. Yeah, 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 yeah. Every crate's a slot machine, they've gamified my dopamine. Odds are trash, but I don't care. Legendary drop, I'm nearly there. Credit limits looking grim, but my loadout's looking prime to win. Leaderboards, I'm #1, though all I did was fund the fun. No more losing, swipe again. This game's my debt, my bestest friend. They sell me power, speed, and skin. I've sold my soul to pay to win. Pay to win. Max out my gear while the free-to-play kids need a ring. Pay to win. No shame in me when my wallet's MVP. Pay to win. I'll top the charts, skill don't matter when you shop smart. Pay to win, top frag, no sweater. Mortgage worth of in-game debt. No more grinding, cash in. Yeah, I pay to win. Yeah. Epic mount, it cost a ton, but now my speed outruns the sun. Armor glowing, fortune gold, only drops, or so I'm told. Cash shop sales are baiting me. Imps tonight, so swipes come free. Why work hard, just cash it in? That's the way I pay to win. Don't you tell me earn it fair when I can buy a dragon's lair. The grind is hell, I'll take the sin if it means that sweet, sweet win. Pay to win right now, today, buy my way through every play. Pay to win, what's skill to me when my bank account's my XP. Pay to win, swipe through the pain till my card declines again. No more losing, that's my spin. Yeah, I'll pay to win. Pay to win. Yeah, I'll pay to win. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck your mirror, fuck your doubt. If I'm too loud, then clear the fucking room out. Thunder in my chest, fire in my throat. If the world won't listen, I'll shove down the note. Stop picking at the cracks like you're broken inside. That's not damage, that's armor, that's the proof you survived. You crawl through the fire, swallow smoke, chew glass. Now you walk out the ashes with a crown of brass. Every scar on your body, that's receipts, that's proof that you bodied every demon that stepped in your booth. If your voice shakes, let the quake shake stone. You ain't here to fit in, you came to own. Fuck shrinking down, fuck being polite. I'm the wrong kind of silence, I was built to ignite. The world don't hand out crowns, so I take what it owes. Kick the goddamn door till the hinges explode. I don't fit in, bitch, I stick out. Every room I walk in, better clear me out. I'm a red storm rising, I'm a riot with skin. I'm the loudest kind of lesson, I'm the proof you win. Don't apologize for thunder in my veins. Every scar wears a middle finger to the pain. I don't bow, I don't break, I don't beg, I don't bend. Every scar is a verse, every verse is revenge. Make space, make way, pay what's due. I collect back rent everywhere I move. Yeah, I was quiet in the corner, but that coffin got burned. Now I spit gasoline with every lesson I learned. Let the cowards keep talking, let the liars stay loud. I'm a blade in the crowd, I'm the vow they disavowed. Pressure makes diamonds, fuck that cliche. Pressure made me violent in a beautiful way. Turn rubble to rhythm, turn the dust into drums. Turn the fist that they swung into an anthem that hums. I don't
like a war drum. Panic got deadlines. I turn the landmines into lifelines and headlines. Slip on a slick, then I grind till it grips. Skin splits, knit quick, discipline in the wrist. Stone thrown, a scaffold bone cold. I baffle map of the keloids, cartography of battles. Fears in the lobby with a stack of complaints. I stamp it, reject it, then repaint the restraints. When the roof caves in and the room gets thin, I pop it on my shoulders till the daylight wins. If the summon's in fog and the air turns thin, I lace lungs with steel and breathe through the sin. Fuck your mold, fuck your frame. I won't shrink for your shame. Every wound's a sermon, every bruise is a hymn. Every breath I take is a fuck you win. I don't want less, I don't want safe. I want the kind of scars that reshape space. I don't fit in, bitch, I stick out. Every room I walk in better clear me out. I'm a red storm rising, I'm a riot with skin. I'm the anthem of the broken, learning how to win. Don't apologize for thunder in my veins. Every scar wears a middle finger to the pain. I don't bow, I don't break, I don't beg, I don't bend. Every scar is a verse, every verse is revenge. Make space, make way, pay what's due. I collect back rent everywhere I move. Stand up, stand the fuck up, stand proud. Pay up, pay the fuck up. Collect back rent everywhere I move.
All right, all right. We are just about good to go. I'm hoping this background music is... I'm hoping it's the ticket. Yeah, that's the ticket. I don't really got much of a game plan today. I've got this overarching plan. Here, we'll pop up. How's it going, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic morning wherever you're at. I know over Colorado way, about 2 hours behind us, everyone's probably on their commute to work. Over here, closer to the East Coast, I'm assuming people are getting ready to eat lunch. So... So I haven't really talked. I haven't really spoke too much about this. Let me turn the music down a little bit because it's scrambling my brain a bit. I have no idea if this is like an appropriate volume for you guys though. I have no clue. I don't know. Now that I'm streaming like earlier, I feel like I'm just gonna in general have less of my old crowd in chat with the same frequency I used to for now. So I've noticed on both my YouTube and on my Twitch, maybe on Kick, I haven't looked around Kick a ton. I'm assuming that there's a spot, well, at least at YouTube and Twitch is true. There's a spot for like an intro, like a channel intro. And I've never done it before because it just seems weird. Mostly because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, you know, to me, it feels like a cover letter, right? Like, you know, why is it you want this job? Why do you feel like you're qualified for this job? Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. It feels like a cover letter to be like, this is, I think I'd be great at this, and this is why, and you should hire me. And like, it's weird because, you know, for those channels, it's kind of like me saying, you know, this is why you should subscribe. This is why you should, you know, hang out and follow and all that. So I basically, if I were to sum it up, let's say I was to sum all of that up, like, what is it that I'm doing here? What is it that I am doing here, right? What I'm doing here is I am an opinionated man and I love to talk, and I find that it's difficult to locate like-minded people. And when you do find like-minded people, it always feels good to kind of hang on to them, right? Like kind of keep them close to you. You know, and a lot of that might be confirmation bias, and that sort of thing. But my goal with this channel is to talk about gaming, play games, review games, and host servers and host events on those servers. That's kind of the overarching idea. I'm going to be leaning away from game reviews and leaning more into hosting events. I feel as though it's so weird too, because my joy for hosting events, like I've always hosted servers. I've hosted Ark servers, Conan servers, you name it. I really like open world survival crafting games. That's my jam. And I like hosting servers, and that's my favorite type of game. I think in a different universe, MMORPGs would have been my bread and butter. And for a long time, I thought they were. But then when I started playing like Atlas, Ark, Conan Exiles, I realized that like I do like MMOs. I do like things that are massively multiplayer. I like interacting with other people. But I don't like the guardrails and constraints and kind of the single tone feeling of MMORPGs. Now, obviously, for me, the best mix would be if you could somehow maintain that truly open world survival crafting feel while having an MMO like scale, size, that kind of thing. Because I like boss fights and stuff. You know. I like action RPGs. I like stuff like Elden Ring, that kind of thing. Hello, hey. Oh man, I'm gonna call you Pun. How's it going, Pun? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a good day, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at in the world. So yeah, we're basically this is gonna feel really slow. These streams are gonna feel really slow, I think, for at least like 2 weeks. One, I'm just getting back into the rhythm of doing this. Two, it's being structured a little bit more loose than before. And three, I need to get these worlds set up. I need to get these servers set up. I need to get these events going. And that is going to take some time and attention and work. That hopefully we could do some of that on stream. I mean, I'd love to do a bunch of that on stream, but I'm not as familiar with Unreal Engine 5 as I would like to be, especially the blueprint system. So there's someone right now working on an Ark server for me and kind of modding it, making a mod for it in a way that is going to help me host events. And yeah, that's where I'm starting my stuff. I almost did Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid was a very close contender. It's a very fun game. But I think like considering the zombie background, it'd be a lot of like, 200 players survive a hotel, 200 players simulate civilization, it'd be a lot of that stuff. And then once it came to like first person choices and survival crafting choices, Rust was kind of the winner, and I actually found a community that was really willing to do some events with me. That one kind of fell through. I am more than positive that we're gonna do Rust as well. I'm just going to do it like second. I feel like I need to have myself well established, and I need to have these events going smoothly before I do Rust. Rust is a much bigger audience, and it's a lot more complicated. It's a lot more intense, and it's for mechanical reasons. It's a lot of moving parts, and I really want to do the Rust community justice. So we'll get into we'll get into doing Rust. And probably gonna skip Conan Exiles. I've done that so many times that I've built so many servers for Conan that it's just not, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. I think I'd have a hard time holding my attention on Conan. So yeah, we're gonna start with Ark Survival Evolved, or Survival Ascended, excuse me, Ark Survival Ascended, which I'm already a little hesitant about because the modding is really weird with that. They don't do the workshop with Survival Ascended. But CurseForge is handling their mods. And it seems like everything I need is there. And I found a developer who's willing to kind of make the things I need. The stuff I need is very simple. Very, very simple. And the idea is we'll have the live server that anybody can play on at any time. Light RP, you know, just a place for players to live. And then we'll have an event server that opens up for events, and we'll live stream those events, and I can commentate on that and all that. Ugh. Yeah, it's a lot. What else we got going on? I think we're going to pick up a game night again. I just haven't decided when. I think it might be every other Sunday. I don't like doing things every other week because I feel like you just cannot get into a sense of consistency with it. But I think that's going to be the direction to go. Because doing it weekly almost felt like too much for me. But I think it's the best for people, because obviously if you miss a Sunday, you know, and we're doing it every other week, then it's like you participate, we skip a week, you can't make a week, we skip a week, and then you know, there's a 3-week period in between. And I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of that, but I think that's going to be the way it has to go for my sanity's sake. It's very easy for me to bite off more than I can chew. And then when I have these server events, we could do those on the off weeks. And I won't feel like there's a ton of stuff competing for my time. So yeah, that's about it. That's about it for updates and plans and what we got going on and coming down the pipeline. My hope is to have that server up and running like within a couple weeks. We're probably going to have to do rollbacks on the server, and I want to get the server to a point that we're not having to do that before we let people in. Because always, like, if people played on the server for 2 weeks and then we had to wipe it, that would suck. So I'd rather it kind of already be to that point where hopefully we don't have to, or it'd be rare that we have to. Okay. What do we got? What do we got in the news? Popping over to r/games for a bit of commentary. So if I am on your second screen, this is perfect second screen time. Second screen, driving, what have you. Normally I'd be doing this more as like a daily thing, but I have it actually set for the week because obviously I've not been going through anything. So I'm just going to be looking through and see what's up, see what's going on out there. I have it set to top posts of this week on r/games over at Reddit. What do we got? Young gamers in Japan may not be forming the same attachment to Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest because modern dev cycles are as long as their childhood. Ugh, it's interesting. Take a peek at this. Thanks to the recent success of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake and Dragon Quest 7 reimagined, it seems that the popularity for the Dragon Quest franchise is as strong as ever. However, Japanese gamers and ex-users alike suggest that Japanese youth recently seem way less enthusiastic about classic JRPG franchises such as Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, with some having never played a single entry in the series. And can we translate this to English? I don't think so. Oh, translation right there. Dragon Quest has been getting a lot of attention lately with all the remakes. It may be overtaking Final Fantasy in terms of popularity. Come to think of it, which franchise does the younger crowd prefer, Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy? I'll ask them. Youngster A, Pokemon. Youngster B, Pokemon. Youngster C, Pokemon. Youngster D, Pokemon. I've never played a Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy game. Interesting. Game artist turn manga author Norbia initiated the discussion on their personal X account. The post garnered numerous comments, with many speculating as to why older RPG franchises aren't as popular anymore. You know, I personally also feel I kind of feel that myself. One popular theory focuses on how the relevance of the aforementioned franchise is affected by the development times of their mainline titles, whereas mainline Pokemon games and their DLCs have been releasing roughly every year since 1996. The last mainline Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy titles came out in 2017 and 2023, respectively. To be precise, Dragon Quest XI released around 5 years after its predecessor, and Final Fantasy, was that 14? Came roughly 7 years after Final Fantasy 15. Oh, so that's 16. 7 years after 15. This does not count remasters or remakes, such as Dragon Quest VII Reimagined and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I mean, I guess it's kind of weird. Like, the thing is, a good game is a good game, and a bad game is a bad game. So, saying like the time between editions is too far, I don't think that's the point. I mean, the reason Pokemon games are so popular is because Pokemon is very popular in culture. There's not a Final Fantasy card game that's widely played. You know, Logan Paul is not opening up Final Fantasy card packs, and like, you don't go to your TikTok, feed and find a bunch of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest videos. So I think it's kind of probably a little bit more cultural. Also, these games are vastly more involved than Pokemon. Pokemon is the same fucking thing over and over and over and over again. Like, it'd be very difficult for me to imagine like a 15-year-old kid trying to play Final Fantasy 15, or like a 13-year-old trying to play Final Fantasy 15, like, or 16. 16? Yeah, 16. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something they would be into. Gaming has kind of matured as gamers have matured. And Final Fantasy is one of those companies that Square Enix is one of those companies that I would consider a mature company, mature audience. Be kind of like saying, like, it's weird that kids aren't into Assassin's Creed as much as they are with Pokemon. It's like, well, of course, it's more mature. It's meant for a more matured audience. Even though I would say Final Fantasy in its earliest years was meant for everybody, and it was made for everybody. And I think it became, like, as gamers matured, Final Fantasy matured with. Dragon Quest I can't really speak to, though. I still think it's made for a mature audience despite its kind of childish demeanor. While the changes to some mainline Pokemon games aren't as strike as those in Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy titles, yearly, semi-yearly releases, combined with ventures to other genres and platforms, have allowed it to stay popular and profitable to Japanese youths and their parents. Considering the average wait between mainline Dragon Quest games ranges from 5 to 10 years, children would have either graduated, excuse me. Sometimes I see a big word and my brain just goes blank. Graduated elementary, middle school before another title is released, or never experienced one at all. No matter the case, the lull in release wouldn't allow either of the two series to leave a lasting impact on the childhood of today's youths. The thing is, like, I played Final Fantasy V. I played Final Fantasy VI when I was little, when I was younger. Then I played Final Fantasy VII. I played 8. I skipped 9 and 10. Yeah, I skipped 9 and 10, I think. I can't remember which one's the one with the espers. That might have been 9. I can't remember. Point being, Final Fantasy 5 and 6, they were great games, but like they weren't like iconic. They didn't they're not something I like reminisce about. But I also don't think about, I almost don't think about Final Fantasy games as like a Sorry about that, guys. I got disconnected. It looks like the bit rate's doing fine. Problem is, I have no idea if I don't know if I'm actually live now or not. I think I'm live. Pop over to YouTube. Okay, it looks like I'm live over on YouTube. Check Twitch. Looks like I'm live. Looks like I'm live. Okay, cool. All right, not sure what that was about. So yeah, let's. I lost my train of thought there a little bit. We'll just get back into the article. That's nothing to say the legacy that these classic RPGs carry. In addition to Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy titles carrying numbers in their titles, making it seem that people need to play earlier entries in the series, some veteran players notice that recent entries are more geared towards longtime players. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like your audience has kind of matured with you. And it's kind of like fans have said, this is what I like. And those fans are mostly of a certain demographic, a certain age group. So the younger people are not influencing the development of the game as much as those who have played most of the games are. So I think this is going to be an interesting thing, especially with like just technology in general. Like, what holds the attention of a Gen Xer? What holds the attention of a millennial? What holds the attention of a Zoomer is going to be so fundamentally different, and kind of like when they access technology and by what percentage their age bracket kind of embrace technology is going to be way different. So it's gonna make for very interesting decisions that media companies are going to have to make, where they're basically going to have to say, you know, are we making a game that is meant to hold the attention of someone with a 3-second attention span, or someone with a 3-minute attention span? Does something need to be happening constantly? Do we need infinite decisions to make? Do we need some railroading? How much hand holding do we have to do? It's really, really interesting, because if you take let's say, a 13-year-old who's been playing on his tablet for the past 5 years and, is playing, like some, I don't want to say intense games, but not like app games, not like phone app games, but I've been playing actual games. If you just throw them on a computer and throw Elden Ring at them, that game does not represent anything that's even remotely close to what they've been interacting with for the past 5 years. And I think it's interesting to consider that in the form of like game design and development and mature audiences, and it's very, very interesting. There are other theories, such as one that cites a recent survey by Gem Standards saying that younger gamers tend to prefer more popular Twitch-based multiplayer titles such as Apex Legends, Fortnite, and Valorant. On the other hand, the research suggests that Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy series have more popularity among older users. Another theory talks about the availability of consoles, with systems like the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 being cheaper and more accessible than PlayStation 5. I think the age thing is it. That was my initial kind of knee-jerk reaction to the whole conversation. Well, it isn't fair to say that all Japanese youths are more inclined to play popular games than classic RPGs. There's no denying that the number of overall video games available has dramatically changed in recent years, providing kids with more options than ever before. Despite this new environment, it stands that whatever media a person is exposed to during their childhood will likely stick with them for life. True, real, based. So if Final Fantasy wanted to appeal to everybody, they would be making deals with Fortnite to put Final Fantasy characters in Fortnite. That kind of thing. Final Fantasy would have to like branch into maybe creating a Twitch shooter style game, which I don't even know what that would look like. But you could take the IP, you can take the universe, you can take the ideas you have, and you can inject them in other types of games to try to capture that young audience. And then once you have them captured and they like the universe, they enjoy the aesthetic of the universe, then you can draw them into these kind of larger single player, stories. And I think that's just what companies are going to have to do. You have to have a cultural hook that older games didn't have to have, because the pool was so shallow as to what was available. So when something was truly amazing, it came to the forefront automatically. And within the culture of gamers, it came to the surface, and we talked to each other about these amazing games, people getting into World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, all that stuff. But now there is no culture of gamers. Gaming is not an isolated culture anymore, and gamers are literally everybody. Like I know, 40-year-old moms that play games, who got started playing games in their 30s. Like, gamers are everywhere, and gamers are everyone. So in order to appeal to everyone, you really gotta snag them and bring them in. So I would not say Final Fantasy has to have a culture shift where they need to make a different type of game as like their focus. What they need to do is keep their flagship, and then they need to poke into these different cultural spaces and attempt to draw people in. That would be my suggestion. That would be my recommendation. A really good example of some potential is how Bungie, I think Bungie is still in charge of Halo. How they made the Master Chief Collection, and you had achievements that kind of blanketed all of the Halo properties, and you had Halo Reach and ODST in there. You had all these different, and then Halo also, Bungie made an RTS, Halo Wars 1 and 2. Basically, this Master Chief Collection created a space where you could become kind of a super fan of the entire universe, doing like graphical remakes to make the stuff more accessible as well. And I think, like, I don't want to say what they've missed out on, but if I were Bungie, well, I guess they kind of did this. I would have made specific games that are built into the Master Chief Collection that there's no other way to play them than to play them through the Master Chief Collection. And I would have released them for free. And basically I would have been like, this is our Halo multiplayer environment. And you create basically a game, an add-on game that is just Halo multiplayer, and that's it. So if you want to play stories, we have stories up here, and you can pick which story you want to go through. But if you want to play Halo multiplayer, you have the singular multiplayer environment. And then from there, you give people as many tools as humanly possible, not just the Forge, but like really give them some good development tools to make whatever game type they want. Encourage them to make their Halo Fortnite, their Halo Mario Kart, or whatever. And that's how you bring people in. And you save on development because, like, literally your fans are making your content for you. As it should be. I do not understand why anyone who has ever developed a game that has multiplayer would not allow their users to create content. Because I guarantee you 100 I would bet every penny I have and any penny I ever will have, I would bet that if you take any multiplayer game, Overwatch, Apex Legends, League of Legends, whatever, and you give those players development kit tools, they are going to create game types, they're going to create levels, they're going to create characters. If you gave them the ability to like make clothing, make armor, maybe that sort of thing too, I mean, they would make so much shit. And your game would just explode. Because that is, I mean, it's free content. It's like you've hired an extra 500 developers who work for the love of the game. What an insane thing not to just fucking wrestle a hold of. Anywho. Cool. Good article. I liked it. Good conversation. I enjoy this conversation. But I do think it's mostly generational. I would definitely chalk it up to being a more generational thing. What we got here? Our favorite piping hot hosting hack. Oh, it's a promotion. I was like, what the fuck? What's this doing in here? Okay, I see. That is a good idea, though. It looks like this mat plugs in via USB. And like maybe this has like little miniature coils going through it to keep food warm. That's a neat idea. I like things that can be rolled up and put away too. Good idea. Good product. God of War Trilogy Remake announcement teaser from 6 days ago. Not gonna lie, I have never played a God of War game before, nor have I ever played a Kingdom Hearts game before. I've been wanting to play Expedition 33. Mugenics surpasses Hades 2, becoming the most played roguelite ever on Steam. That game was so weird. Check out my review on YouTube. Such a strange game. It didn't really hook me, though. Maybe I gotta play more of it, but it didn't really hook me. Jason Schreier, video games need to be cheaper to buy. Opinion piece. Expedition 33? Man. A lot of things need to be cheaper to buy. I'll take a house before video game, though. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Bloomberg? I don't know. Video games need to be cheaper to buy. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like games, I think outside of the AAA market, games are priced really well. You know, and the reason I say that is every now and then you get an amazing game like Baldur's Gate 3 or Elden Ring where it's like, yeah, charge me 60, 70, fuck it, charge me $80 for that game. You know, like you earned it. You earned it. You earned it. But then when you put out some, you know, Concord bullshit and you're charging people full price for it, or you're releasing a game that should be in early access and you're charging full price for it, or you remove mechanics and you remove cosmetics from a game at launch, let people early order it so they can get like special perks for pre-ordering the game, and they can play the game like 5 days early for pre-ordering the game. And then you you gut the game of everything that you can and then sell it back to people. Now we're in like a weird, terrible, ethical place. Former Highguard. Ooh, we talked about Highguard yesterday. Former Highguard developer reflects on disastrous announcement and launch. We were turned into a joke from minute one. Oh boy. This is from a developer. Former Highguard developer reflects on disastrous announcement and launch. We were turned into a joke from minute one. The hate started immediately. A developer who worked on Highguard has discussed the hate he received after the free-to-play shooter debuted at December's The Games Awards, saying the game, and by extension his team, turned into a joke from minute one, largely due to false assumptions about $1 million ad placement. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think the gas mask is going on. We're breathing the copium. Just 2 weeks after the free-to-play game's January 26th launch yesterday, Wild Light let go all but a core group of developers, despite the newly unveiled Episode 2, and despite debuting the top 10 in weekly active... Come on. In the top 10 in weekly active users on US Steam, and top 20 on both US PlayStation and Xbox. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. IGN. Now, in a candid statement posted to X and Twitter, text artist and rigger Josh Sobel, who's one of those let go, talked about the impact of the launch on himself and the well-being of the entire team. Is this this says Highguard video review. Is this the thing? Statement. Oh, right here. This is the statement. Maybe this is the statement as well. Let me see. Oh, okay. Well, they deleted their account. So we'll have to kind of take this at face value, which is not my favorite thing to do, but it is what it is. The day leading to the Game Awards 2025 was among the most exciting of my life. Oh, wait. We read this yesterday. Yep, we read this yesterday. Everyone I knew who had any connection to the team or project had the same sentiments. Yeah, we read all this yesterday. I thought it was someone different, because this says Highguard developer, and this is like the lead guy that deleted his account. Yep. Yeah. So we don't need to go over. Yeah, we don't need to go over this again, because yesterday I talked about this. If you guys want to know my opinions on Highguard and this statement in particular, watch the video I posted on YouTube yesterday. That'll get you up to speed. Yeah, we don't need to go back into all that. Fuck that. According to an employee, Highguard developer Wildcard laid off most of its staff today. That was 7 days ago. So we're good. We don't need to get back into that. Video game romances need to evolve beyond lore dumps. Polygon. Ooh, how to allow ads on this site? Go away. Let's see here. Video game romances need to grow up. Lore dumps aren't love. If you had to pick a good love story, you might think of something classic like Jane Austen's Emma or Casablanca, or maybe tragic like Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin or Romeo and Juliet, or possibly cozy like Heated Rivalry or Netflix Nobody Wants Us. I don't know what any of these things are. I have no fucking clue what any of this is. I think if you're writing an article towards like gamers and specifically gamers who like to romance characters in video games, you should like reference probably like smut books or the games that do that. What probably doesn't come to mind is a video game love story, and there's a good reason for that. Despite the appearance of variety, video game romances only come in one type, and it hardly even counts as romance. Games are still young as a storytelling medium, so the lack of memorable love stories compared film or literature is hardly surprising. What is surprising is just how little romance has changed in over 3 decades. In 1994, Konami's Tokimeki Memorial made popular the idea of dating in video games. It was hardly what you might call romantic, with its stat-based progress and checklist approach to relationships, but it set a precedent for how to do romance in games, and later titles like Harvest Moon built on that formula. By the 2000s, the likes of Baldur's Gate 2 added a stronger element of personality, with more complex characters who played important roles in bigger stories, but not necessarily in each other's lives. Relationships consisted of saying the right thing at the right time, then, like magic, love occurs. 26 years later, game romances are still written like they were in 2000, with obvious expectation, like usually not being as sexist anymore and occasionally being decent enough to show more than one type of love. You know, it's kind of it's a very interesting topic, because I think people get a little red in the face, or they get a little like weirded out, or maybe they feel like it's awkward to talk about romance in games. And I can understand it. And I think Baldur's Gate 3 is a really good example. I'm glad they used this as an example, because it is, man, how do you say that? So I'm thinking back to like in Fable, right? Back in Fable, you could get someone to fall in love with you. You could, but it's weird, right? Because like you didn't have any conversations with them. You would just like flex and be like, hey, you know, they'd go, oh. You'd be like, uh-huh. And they're like, ah. You're like, here's some chocolates. And they're like, oh. And like, that's it. That was it. That was the entire mechanic, right? Eventually their heart would get completely full. You could go get a ring, propose to them. They'd say yes, guaranteed. And they'd follow you. You'd buy a house and, you know, assign them to the house, and they'd just be there forever. And, you know, eventually I don't know if it was in Fable 1, but definitely in Fable 2 and 3, you know, then you could have sex with them at, you know, little fade to black moment. And then you'd eventually have a kid running around, and like this kid, you could never interact with them. They could never grow up. Like, it's so weird. And a lot of games do that, even like Harvest Moon type games, because they have, you know, they have chunks of dialogue, and that's it. And then there's like interactions and dialogues. So it's like interaction, outcome, dialogue, and that's it. And that's and they're right. They're right in this article. That really hasn't changed. And it's weird because I know, okay, I know. I'm talking to you, you fucking freak. I know. I know. There are gamers out there that all they want is after they beat Baldur's Gate 3, they want to have like a life simulation with whichever character they went off with. They want a special map that's got like their house with Shadowheart off in the woods like they had talked about, you know, just living normal life. They want that. Players, if you put out an $80 DLC, if you put out a $200 DLC that was the Life After Adventure DLC for Baldur's Gate 3, and the focus was let's say like AI in the sense of Shadowheart's voice, but she could respond to you with like real answers. You know, it has like a memory of your decisions and what you guys have been through and all that stuff. People would pay it. People would pay for that. They would 1,000% pay for that. It's just like if you want to dethrone The Sims, basically recreate The Sims with the ability to have your Sims love interests like actually reciprocate and invest in each other. It's really weird. I think it's a line that I don't know, maybe just no developer has just felt it like bold enough to do it. Because just like how when ChatGPT became insanely accessible to like your normies, immediately people started making boyfriends and girlfriends on ChatGPT and was like trying to date them, wanting to marry them. And I think if you added graphics, personality, visuals, like in an actual life simulation along with that GPT kind of backup, cooked. Humanity would be fucking cooked. The gamers, which as we discussed before, everyone is now a gamer, cooked, completely cooked, gone. The collapse of society. I mean, I've played Skyrim in VR with like 500 mods activated, and like even that, it felt so real, and the audio felt so real. If you added an NPC character who moved into a house that I built with my bare hands in VR, and that person like knew me by name, was excited to see me, had wants and needs and wishes and ambitions, and was like, hey, I want to go on a trip to Winterhold, and you're like, fuck, okay. And like you're on this side quest that the AI just made up, and you're, you know, just to improve your bond and your attachment. I'm telling you, I think an AI romance dungeon master injected into our games, people would just disappear from society. They'd be like, I gotta get home, my wife's expecting me. It's just this fucking VR headset sitting in the middle of an empty room. And then you start, you know, then you have like virtual sex with this character, and they get virtually pregnant, and you're there through their virtual pregnancy. And then they have their virtual kid, and that kid knows you and calls you dad and wants to hang out. And you got to teach him everything. Got to teach him how to fish. Got to teach him how to whatever. Like, cooked. Totally cooked. What's crazy is we have the technology. There is nothing stopping us from going down that road. Nothing. Like, we have every ounce of technology that you would need to create that level of simulation. And like the day a game development company announces that that's what they're doing, like, we're done. Then it's time to invest in every company that's creating VR peripherals. Anyone working on like omnidirectional tracks or sensation vests and stuff like that, immediately put every penny you have into supporting those companies. Because I think like AI robotics tech is going to get to the point of like a maid-esque robot that has that you can have sex with. Like, that's coming. but it's going to be expensive. It's going to be clunky. It's going to be something like, you know, you don't. If you have a robot in your house that's like doing your dishes and like vacuuming and stuff, but it like looks like a robot, no one's gonna say anything. They'll be like, dude, that's fucking cool, man. You put a layer of skin on it and it just looks like a hot woman. Like instantly, everyone is gonna know. Instantly, like no question. You do it in VR, you do it in this virtual world with like the focus being on AI, cooked. Because you could do it in private. You know, your girlfriend of 8 years leaves you and you buy a headset and a tactile vest. Gone. Absolutely gone. You're God, that scene from Breaking Bad where they're like, who goes from home to work and that's it for weeks on end. That would be a suspicious amount of work home. Oh man. Guys, I'm telling you, the future of gaming, we don't want this. Video game romances need to grow up. We don't want that. It's because it's the end. It's the beginning of the end. As here, it's about the fantasy of wooing someone cool and sexy, you might say. But do you ever really woo them? Most of these relationships, even the well-written ones, are just lore dumps disguised as love. You listen to Shadowheart's story in Baldur's Gate 3, and since you pass no judgment, fall in love. Same with Halsin and Garrus in Mass Effect. God, I forgot about the romancing in Mass Effect. That was crazy in Mass Effect. And Tali and Mirinda and Lara and basically all the other romance interests too. Granted, Mass Effect and Fire Emblem, for that matter, have the benefit of throwing lonely people together in high pressure situations, so their sudden, intense relationships make more sense. Or at least they make sense as flings, but not much more. The Shadowheart and Garrus examples also have the problem of making love interests out of vulnerable people. Falling for the nearest sympathetic person when you're lonely and sad is not a good, safe idea. Okay. All right. It's a fucking game. It's a fucking, falling in love with a vampire is probably not a good idea. Falling in love with a druid, who wants to go bear mode during coitus is probably not a good idea. So this is kind of silly. The transactional nature of complete quest progress relationship isn't what makes these scenarios shallow. It's video games. Outside of a few instances like Haven, which is built around the main couple's relationship dynamics, there's always going to be some kind of objective-based mechanic in them. The quests and events that make up these transactions meant to deepen your relationship just don't do it. Deepen your relationship, just don't do it. Sure, you learn about the biggest problem in Judy Alvarez's life in Cyberpunk 2077 and get clued into Pam's serious family drama. Anders bears his soul to you in Dragon Age 2. Not that it has anything to do with you, and Dragon Age Inquisition's Iron Bull relationship is more blunt about sex than most. But reading an encyclopedia entry about everyone else's life and preferences or even helping write it doesn't equal love or even infatuation. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with this article. Yeah. What's interesting to me is I think games like Fable, games like Baldur's Gate, like Mass Effect, like Cyberpunk 2077, I think it would be super easy to create like relationship systems within it. Complicated ones. But I feel like you almost have to include AI. Because you cannot account for every possible dialogue that would happen. And if you treat it as a post-main storyline sort of thing, like once the game kind of gets into side quests and sandbox mode because you've kind of beat the main content, and then from there you just release the character's mind to AI, they could all do it. Should they, though? That Jurassic Park quote. They spent so much time wondering if they could, they never stopped to ask if they should. I think it's kind of inevitable, especially with like the whole like loneliness epidemic thing, and like people aren't having sex anymore, and kids aren't getting in, not kids, but young adults aren't getting into relationships as frequently. They're not having as many kids. Like, it does seem like all of this is kind of inevitable. Especially people who are on the more rejected side. I think it'll be extra true for them. So yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. If you are playing video games as your main form of learning how to navigate a successful relationship, that's bad. That's bad, right? That's bad. Okay, that's bad. Just like I think if you're reading, you know, the smut model book about, you know, the helpless college feminist dropout who is, you know, screwing a minotaur and getting paid buku dollars for it, and he's like the perfect man bull thing, that's probably not a good way to set expectations. But if you can keep fantasy, if you can be like, this is a fantasy and I'm just enjoying it, then whatever. It doesn't matter what it looks like then. I don't think it matters. As long as kids aren't involved, like, it just doesn't matter. You just do your thing, have your fantasy, like, you know, eat your slop content, play your slop games, you know, read your slop books, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Everyone can do their own thing. Shouldn't be judged too heavily for it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. What else we got? Castlevania Belmont's Curse announcement trailer 6 days ago. Got here. That's a promotion. I guess I shouldn't have put this on a week, because obviously all of the biggest stories are going to be what's coming out because of the because it's that time of year. Wow, look at this. High Guard developer Wild Light Entertainment confirms layoffs. There's so much High Guard news. Here's another one. The High Guard website is down as players brace for the worst. This was 23 hours ago. Is this true? Is this true? Do they have a website? Play High Guard. Holy shit. Okay. Well, all right. Well, all hope that I had is now very gone. I thought maybe they'd be putting it on life support for a while. This is playhighguard.com, site unavailable. Oh my god. What's code32.com? Probably shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna do it anyway. Copy. Code32.com, a game's website should never be an afterthought. Okay, so this is just the company that makes websites for shitty games. That is wild. Dead as a doornail. Fuck. Shutaro Idia has passed away. Castlevania, Bloodstain, Metal Gear. That's sad. Nintendo just DMCA'd every Switch emulator again. Okay, that's just what Nintendo does. Nintendo shut down a project. Who could have guessed? Who would have known? How could this happen? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has sold more than 5 million copies within its first year. I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I installed it and I proceeded to never touch it. And I have been told it's amazing, so I really need to. My backlog is crazy. Wow, Stop Killing Games is still ongoing. I'm glad that they're not letting up on that. Cat 1, toilet paper 0. Okay, is that a promotion? That is a promotion. Wow. Dead or that what a great shot. Dead or Alive new project teaser. Click play, click it. Solid Snake reveal trailer. Dude, this whole Diablo Warlock class thing is crazy. Is this just a cinematic? This is just a cinematic. Okay. I want to see if it did gameplay. I can't. It's so crazy that they just shadow dropped a new class for a 25-year-old game. Like, I would love to see more of that. Instead of seeing like a ton of remakes, I think like a general light graphical update to a game and then an expansion upon its content would bring me back in. That sounds great. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Like if Nintendo randomly released like Ocarina of, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the blah blah blah, whatever title, and they're like, this is literally just a continuation of the story, and it's not a new game. It's not like even Zelda 2. It's just when you play Ocarina of Time, after you beat the game, we just decided to add like more game. I'd be like, sweet. Awesome. Sounds good. Just like this Warlock. It's like they didn't change the Diablo story. They just added a new class, and it's like, sweet. Kind of makes me want to go back and play it again. Hey, Sage. Hope you're doing good. Oh my god, this is the game. Oh my god. I have been asking for this. Ever since I played the N64, or I should say ever since the N64 got overtaken. This is what I've wanted. I have wanted this. If you guys haven't heard about this, Star Wars Galactic Racer, guys. Guys.
Our newest racer has arrived.
Pod
Welcome
racing.
To the Galactic League.
I'm so excited about this.
Since you're here, why not take part in a friendly exhibition race?
Dude, look at this. Yeah. Oh. God, that gets me hard. You guys can't see it because of the type of shirt I'm wearing, but like I could fucking scratch a diamond with my nipples right now. Why does it look weird? Does that look weird to you guys? I feel like it looks weird. Is it supposed to look like that? It looks strange. Let me open this. It's like the
Galactic League.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Galactic League.
Something's happening.
Since you're here, why not take
You see
part
that? The
in a
colors are
friendly exhibition race?
changing. Look, see, it's like it's saturating for some reason. Huh. When I open this up, it's the correct color. I close it and it's the wrong color.
Impeding! Impeding! If they weren't holding me back right now, I'd have you frozen in carbonite!
Interesting. It is what it is, I suppose. Guys. I played the shit out of Pod Racer for N64, dude. It was so good. I played the fuck out of that game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Coming 2026. Wish list it today. Oh my god. What is up with this? Are all these videos gonna do this?
I was a god.
This one's not doing it.
Was a Spartan.
Huh. This one video is all fucky for me. It's weird because it's not the video, because it's, look at that. It's changing color once it's close to the top of my screen. Huh. I don't know what that's about. Star Rupture. I've heard this is a really good game. People seem to really like it. This one, fantastic. Project Wildless. Oh my god. I wonder if it's gonna do it. Is it gonna do it? It kind of looks like it's doing it, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. And then I'm gonna open this and it's gonna fix itself.
Born of a goddess. You filthy creature.
It's faked me out now, and I don't know what's real anymore.
Soulless.
Anyway, moving on. Avowed anniversary update. Ew. Ew. All Crimson Desert voices have been recorded by real actors. Cool. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care at all. I have zero care in my system. And it's not because I don't care about the loss of an art form, because I do care about that. It's because AI is inevitable and it's going to happen, and I can't allow myself, like, I don't like the idea that being angry is a virtue, being pissed off about something. And it's like, yeah, we know this is going to happen and we know that it's coming, but if you're not adequately angry about it to satisfy my emotional need for you to be angry about it, then you're a bad person. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off entirely, completely. Like, the shit's fucking coming for all of us. No one's special. Just because you're at the front of the line to the slaughter doesn't mean like you deserve more empathy than everyone else. Silent Hill F Factors. Valve Steam Deck is out of stock in the US. Is the memory shortage to blame? Yeah, probably. Their contracts have probably just run out. If I had to take a guess. Not really seeing any other news that catches my eye. Game dev story temporarily free on Android. I don't know if it still is. That's 6 days ago. Da, 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 da. So many game announcements. Can you guys even hear the music? Like, I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's being injected into my ear hole, so I just turned it up. Background music's really tough thing to balance. Pokemon Popia hands-on impressions. Like Pokemon Pokopia? The fuck is this?
This video is brought to you by the best Switch 2 case money can pick order. So for example, 6 tall grass next to each other is what you need to drop for a Charmander to appear, while a grouping of 6 flowers will call a Pidgey to appear, and a different layout to those same 6 flowers will cause a Combee to appear. It's kind of cool actually, and it's not just plants by the way, there's one habitat which involves a bench and a punching bag, so I imagine that the habitats will only get wilder as time goes on. So anyway, you build these habitats and after a while, a Pokemon appears.
Huh. This is so strange that it's doing this. I've never seen it do this before.
At this point, you add them to your Pokedex thingy, and there are a few ways to interact with them after that. Some of them have abilities that they can use.
This looks awful. Alrighty. I've had enough of that. Had just about enough of that. Do we, are we gonna get Star Wars Racing? Oh my god, it is on Steam. Star Wars Galactic Racer is on Steam. I wasn't sure because it was a PlayStation announcement. Oh my god.
The way it was before the Empire shut it down. Massive engines,
Hell yeah.
lightning fast,
Hell yeah.
lives on the line. The pilots were incredible. Best of the best.
It does look like it's gonna have more of a
United
story
by one
than Pod Racers did.
beautiful dream.
I hope it's got like a Need for Speed feeling story, like a Need for Speed Underground feel. Be fucking sick.
The galaxy needs racing.
I like that they just call it racing and not pod racing, because the Star Wars universe has so many different types of vehicles. Being able to be like, you can bring anything, or you can only bring this classification or this type of racing, you know, vehicle. Yeah. Yeah, good shit, good shit. Wish list today. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Man, look at that. What a visual. Racing through a downed Death Star. We got Cebulba on Tatooine. A lot of this looks like it's on Tatooine. I don't know. These vehicles look fucking good. Like, they look cool as shit. I really hope they maintain the old, like you buying, like you win credits, you buy, you upgrade. That was such a good part, such an important part. Let's see here. Compete in high stakes races. Survive. There it is. Build and customize. Pilot different classes of Repulso craft, each with distinct physics and play styles. Build a ride that showcases your style and gives you a competitive edge. Yeah, that's so important. This is probably the I think this customization is going to be just so damn important. Ride solo through a story-driven campaign, or shifting alliances, or brave strategic PvP grudge matches where reputation rides with you. Prove yourself through intense rivalries and escalating challenges. Every choice shapes your prospects as you build your status in the Galactic League. Pretty cool. I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. Alrighty. I gotta check something real quick. Yeah, okay, so it says I went live twice, but that's because I got disconnected. Just checking my shit, guys. Just checking my shit. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm excited. All right. I was thinking about what to play because I do want to play something. Obviously, I'm not looking for what's good. It's all good. Everything is good. It's constantly good. Everything is good. Just trying to figure out. Today is definitely a shooting from the hip kind of day. Where else do you stream? Over on Twitch and on YouTube. Over on Twitch and on YouTube. Might just have to be a short one today because I don't really know what I'm doing here. I played Foxhole last night with my brother and it was pretty damn good. I don't know that I want to jump back in there and do that again though. Could play some Smite, play some arenas. Don't know. Some Dead by Daylight. I don't know. Nothing sounds good. I in my mind, I am so focused on the idea of getting these servers up and running and get some community games going on. It's like all I can think about. It's like all I want to do. But there's nothing I could do on stream to make that happen. Oh man, make that happen any faster. I really need to work on my stream because right now I've got no alerts. If people are like liking and following and subbing and stuff, I have no way of seeing it. I don't think that shit pops up in the shared chat that I have going on. Granted, I can see chat from YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all in the same spot. It's all right here in its own designated camera. So that's pretty sweet. And I don't have my crafting area set up back like I did back in the old place. But I'm definitely going to do that again with the top-down camera and the disconnected microphone. So that way I can just roll right over there with the top-down, build some Zoids, paint some models. That'll be good. Right now I'm just trying to get in the habit of getting on here every day, even if it's only for a couple hours, just the consistency of it, build up the consistency. And, maybe record a couple, a YouTube video or two. Just, again, trying to get that going, get that churning. I forgot how hard it is to get rolling after not being on here for a while. Oh, my God. It is, because, we don't have community nights set up. We don't have game nights set up. I don't got anything set up as far as my OBS goes because it's a brand new computer. This room, even the shit behind me is empty ass cabinets back here. I'm in setup mode still. But hey, you know what? We got on when we wanted to. Went 2.5 hours of gaming news and what's going on in gaming. I feel good. I feel like I feel good about this. This fucking internet thing is definitely something has to be done about it because getting disconnected last night and getting disconnected today, this morning, I just can't do it. It throws me off so bad too. You get disconnected. I see the big D seed and whatever I'm saying just leaves my brain completely. I'm trying really hard to be a second screen streamer. And I'm trying really hard to get to a place where you guys can pop in early in the morning and we can just kind of talk some news, talk about what's going on in the world, and as it pertains to gaming, technology, that kind of thing. And we can have open and honest dialogue, I don't mince words. I don't censor nothing. So you know, you can expect that. And you can just expect that I'll be on here. Even if it's only for a couple hours, I'll be on here every single day, and we'll be doing that every single day. Aside from Tuesdays, I think Tuesday is going to be my me day. Yesterday I took Tuesday. It felt good, so I'm thinking Tuesday is going to be what I'm doing me. So, you know what? Because I don't have a game going on and because I'd just be booting something up for the sake of streaming longer, I'm just going to call it good here. I'm going to call it good for today. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'll be a little bit more organized. I'm going to take this time to kind of work on my stream space and work on some of these more mechanical things going on in OBS. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I mean, like look at this. Look how I transform. Boom. I mean, that's pretty slick, I'd say. Like that's pretty good. It's just stuff like this takes a long time to get set up. So I'm trying to go kind of slow and feel everything out, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for all of you who popped in, and thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the show. I hope I can become your permanent second screen or the voice in your head on your drive to work and so on. And just give me some time, guys. Just give me some time. I'll tighten it up and we'll be rolling here in no time. So y'all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.